Welcome
to Leadcast. Let's go.
Intriguing.
Without delay.
Hello and welcome to episode 369 of the Leadcast podcast. I'm your host, Nick the King Cooper. Joining me, Aiden Frost Rockharts.
Yo.
Back from the dead, and Colton Blue Basket Swag.
I'm heading there soon.
Back from the life.
No, to the dead. I'm dying.
Oh, to the dead. Okay.
Yeah, I have cancer from solo queue.
Yikes. Well, hey, this week we're going to talk about provisional ranked leaving. You want to make the crab music sounds?
Dun 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 dun.
Diamond soft reset. Riven announced. We'll talk about Riven for a bit because there were some good posts on Reddit today. We're going to talk about new Kale, a roundtable question, a cheese pick, and then a couple emails to round it out. But first, let's do some catch up for our weeks. Aiden, how was the past 2 weeks?
I played League a little bit, and I played Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is better than League. That being said, I'm only thinking League is shit because, dude, I've been I've been mainly only playing on my Smurf, which currently, well, before, I guess, we'll get into it a little bit, but ranked, they've changed it, so you only have one rank now. So I'm bronze to 82 points on that account, and I've been losing more games than I should. So a lot of the time, I feel for people, and I go, holy fuck, this game is actually a coin flip. If you are a good player, and you play well, you still, you have, an 80% chance of winning.
Yeah, I played a game with Alex the other night on one of my Smurfs. I played Evelyn. I think I had 45 Dark Harvest stacks. I was 29 and 6, and we lost that game, and I was so mad.
Yeah, so that's one thing. And then also I've had 2 games where I've actually just played shit in a bronze 2 game. One game I took Predator on Pike mid by accident, which didn't help me. I think that actually would have changed the game a lot because it literally it made it so I couldn't kill my solo lane, and then I couldn't roam bottom because I didn't have kills or items and shit like that. So I'm kind of that one. That one's a little bit of a wash. But I just played a Yi game today. First of all, I think Yi's dog shit, and I don't know if you can carry with that character. But
I think you can.
But I literally just didn't play well. It was just I was I don't even know what to say. So, I don't know what's happening, man. That was a little bit unfun. Just to know, I'm actually playing like shit in bronze. So, I also do feel for people, though. Because that ELO is rough. But, yeah, other than that, I've just been hanging out doing my own stuff for a little bit.
All right. Colton, how was your week?
My week was, I'm all right. See what have I been up to. I haven't played a lot of solo queue because I don't think I'm gonna promote, and I knew that the soft reset was coming, so I was just any progress I make is just gonna be taken away. And if there's really just no point in playing. I did play a little bit of Flex 5s and Flex 3s. 3s is kind of a bad map. I wish it was better. I think that it wouldn't be that hard to make it better, but hey. It's the neglected stepchild. At this point, I would honestly think the easiest thing would just be don't give it an actual ranking. Or, it feels bad because it takes away from people who really like it and people who play a lot of 3s. But as someone coming over who hasn't played 3s seriously in a long time, it's just well, this is just bad and it feels bad to play on this map, but some rewards are gated behind it. So, I don't know. But yeah, other than that, we played some Sea of Thieves. I don't think it's as good of a game as Aiden says, but it's League's not as good of a game as we. I don't even know what I'm saying. That's pretty much my week. I didn't do a whole lot. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, kind of in the same boat. Played a little bit of League when I could. Lots of schoolwork with the start of a new class, and so that's always interesting. And I mean, honestly, that's pretty much it. I have a midterm this week that I'm gonna be busy for, so got that to look forward to. But otherwise, still doing all right. So let's get into the rising news, where we got some exciting stuff to talk about. First up, positional ranked is gone. No longer are we slaves to this torment. I didn't think it was that bad, but
I didn't think it was bad at low elo. Like from playing on Smurfs, it felt really good in low elo. It felt really bad at high elo though.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten even my secondary role in the huge sample size of 6 games that I've played. But I'm fine with reverting back. I actually think this is a really good step in the right direction for Riot, where they're kind of realizing that this particular change didn't work out so well, and they're reverting it at a pretty, honestly, like probably the most appropriate time, where there's a lot of data coming from an entire, quote, split of this happening, and they're able to reverse it like pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people said, and I think a lot of the issue stemmed from not the system itself, but how people used it, right? Like abusing role swaps or just inting if you didn't get your main role because the points didn't matter. Like, I don't think that's a problem inherently with the system, but then again, I think you need to kind of account for the fact that your players are going to abuse that shit. I think that there are definitely improvements to be made. That being said, I think it was okay. I'd like to see the next iteration of it, which I hope does come out at some point. There's definitely some things I would want to see changed, but overall, I think that it's a good direction. It was good to see that they responded to feedback and actually took it away when everyone was complaining.
Yeah, so essentially it's going back to the previous season, right, where it's just your highest rank. And this kind of will lead us into our next talking point, where Diamond is getting a soft ranked reset. Everyone in Diamond will lose 1 division, right?
Yeah, down to
and
D4.
Down to D4.
So D4 stays D4.
D4 stays
Except
D4, yeah.
Your points get reset, though. So I'm at like 50 something, so I'll go to 0, for example.
But honestly, I think that's like probably fine.
I agree. Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, is Grandmaster getting entirely reset too?
Grandmaster, Master, and Challenger all being reset to 0 points.
Yeah, they're all dropping to Master 0, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to handle it. And exactly, I believe we suggested something really similar last week, or maybe it was the week before, about like resetting but not losing your like division or tier or whatever. Mm-hmm. So also good changes. So that's going to come at the end of March. So if you're Diamond, and it will take your highest role for your position. So make sure that, if you're going to be grinding, you do it on your highest role, so you don't lose that.
I mean, it's already reset to like only 1 as of today.
Oh,
yep, that change went through today.
I wonder why aren't they doing the positional ranked switch with the ranked reset? That seems weird.
I'm not sure. Like, maybe it's like they have to like figure out the logistics of it or something like that. Who knows?
Okay.
I think it's partially that, and I also think that they want to see what happens to people's rank distribution just minus the queue, right? When you take away positional matchmaking, do those players that are in the wrong elo now suddenly drop to where they should be? I don't think they will, but
2 weeks of data is not nearly enough.
Yeah.
To determine this. That's not even enough to force people to play 1 game of ranked. Like, I would be fine if they wanted to do the reset, like, I guess, end of April? That seems kind of late, though.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of right off the bat, and obviously that's not probably it, but...
Yeah. And then our final talking point for the news is, so this Riven discussion on Reddit, where Riven's the most broken character in the game, and she's not... Currently, there are no plans for her to be nerfed in next week's patch, 9.6. And there were 2, I want to say like kind of 2 posts that sparked a more data-driven discussion, which is always interesting. One comparing the kind of peak of Aurelian Soul versus the current quote peak of Riven.
Can we read the title of that post?
I don't remember it. If
I'll
you
find
have it
it.
pulled up, yeah,
It's fucking
it's
like
Riot hypocrisy of Riot Games.
The
Aurelian
hypocrisy
Soul
of
versus
Riot
Riven.
Balance Team. Riven
that's
versus
it.
Aurelian Soul. Like shit like that makes you immediately want to go, I don't give a fuck what you say, you're wrong, you fucking moron.
I don't know, dude. Like, oh, you can't be so like, I don't know. You can't attack your
Can't be so
opponent that hard.
jaded. There's no reason to
Yeah.
be that mad about stuff is the main thing.
Yeah. And then I don't remember what the other one was.
Well, there was
But
a Sap
it was-
Magic post. Oh, sorry, a Blastoise post, which was like was a counter post to that post, like looking at the data of those two characters and then their champion trends of number of games played, corresponding with win rate and ban rate, to like looking at mains, looking at the general population, whatever, right, stuff like that. And then there was today the Riot Jap post, which was
And
looking
they
at
were
stuff way more in
comparing it across regions too, right? Which I
Yes.
thought was really interesting.
yeah, that was the Jap post.
Okay. I thought for some reason I thought that was a Blastoise. But yeah, Riot Jet, not TSM Jet anymore. Came out and was kind of like, which I think is really interesting. Mentioned that they wanted to be like way more open about balance in the game and how and why they kind of like go for it, right? So he kind of laid out different kind of requirements for a champion to be nerfed, and sort of things that they look for. The first is the tier of play. So they split it up into 4 tiers, which is the majority, which includes pretty much everything from iron to like, let's say mid-plat-ish. And then high skilled, which is like that mid-plat to like I don't know, low grandmaster, high master. And then splitting that up into elite, which is just like everything else in solo queue, and then pro play. And then they further like kind of divided that into something else, where they sorry, I'm trying to find it.
I have it
where
pulled
they kind
up.
of
Yeah.
I have it pulled up too. Where they broke it down then into win rate, play rate, and ban rate. So it's kind of like, and then he pulled two different characters, Jinx and Lucian. So yeah, it kind of showed like, hey, she seems very OP in the majority and skilled categories, right? But in elite and pro play, she's basically like, she's kind of a strong pick right now. Certainly not pick or ban. Jad even mentions that Riven's pick rate in pro play is only 18%. So kind of like not even considering nerfing her based on strictly like pro and elite play, because that's half of their criteria doesn't even meet that. And then it also showed that kind of like she's the biggest problem in NA, where she has she has the highest win rate in NA, right? Am I reading that right? And the highest pick rate, the highest ban rate. So it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of us, like we're getting the short end of the stick, where maybe we have really good Riven players in NA, or maybe we just have really bad like we're just not good against Riven, which is probably my issue. And then comparing it to Jinx, who has like pretty similar actually pick ban numbers globally in win rate to Riven. And then Lucian gets a ton of like pro play, but isn't kind of categorized in that nerf area.
Yeah, just to better elaborate on some of that stuff. I guess
Yeah, I
he
kinda did a bunch. Sorry.
so Jat laid out those like categories of majority being most of the player base, skilled being like plat to diamond, elite being like master, or sort of like high like grandmaster sort of thing, and then pro being obviously pro play. He set those up because he wanted to mention that their general philosophy, this can obviously differ for different things, is that if a champion is OP in any of the 4 categories, any of the 4 like skill divisions, then they should be nerfed. But if a champion is weak in all 4, then they should be buffed. It was their like overall design philosophy. And then I think some things Nick should have expanded on was like the ban rate, for example, for Riven. Her ban rate's 35% on NA, but it scales down to only like 9.3% on like the Vietnam server or the is it? Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like the better example is like 34% with a 53% win rate is like probably reaching nerf territory, but that's only in NA. Whereas like you could do the exact same thing, which is why he brings in Lucian and Jinx. Lucian on Korea has a 75% ban rate, which you'd go, holy fuck. If you looked at that and you went, holy fuck, the Lucian needs to be nerfed. He has a 75% ban rate. Whereas on Vietnam, he has a 3% ban rate. Like, it's very region-based, I guess.
Which is really interesting, yeah. It would be cool to see more, like, I don't know, region-specific meta, like when it comes to champions. But yeah. So what do you guys think about this?
I mean, it's definitely not because Riven has a skin coming out like everyone wants to suggest.
No, Riot is going to go under if they don't get the sales from that Riven skin.
Does she have a skin coming out?
No, well, I mean, that's what everyone says. Like, you can get a fucking before this like counter jerk happened, Nick. You could circle jerk with the rest of Reddit and post like as a top comment in any of these threads. Like, it's probably because she's the highest skin seller in 3 ELO brackets, and you probably get like 1,000 votes.
Which is weird because I would immediately say that's probably Yasuo's territory.
It's just like, I don't know. I don't know if people actually believe that or if it's a meme, but like enough people regurgitate it that it seems like they're being serious about it, that they actually think that Riot buffs characters that are going to get skins.
I'm sure they
don't release skins for garbage shit tier characters. I think that's the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
well, it's like if a character's getting like, I don't know, 0.03% pick rate and has a 35% win rate, probably not going to get a skin coming out.
Yeah,
and I think that's mostly due to play rate, honestly, right? Like I don't think they care that much about win rate. It's just like, all right, well, these are the characters that people play, i.e., these are the characters people might buy a skin for. Why on earth would we make skins for Volibear? Nobody picks Volibear. Nobody wants.
We didn't
a
say
skin.
any names specifically, but
I said one character. But no, like that's just good business practice. And again, like, why would they waste their time on skins that aren't going to do well? These balance decisions. I mean, it's nice to see them laying out a lot more of their criteria as to like how and why they're doing these things. You know, as someone who has criticized the balance team many times in the past, that's nice to see at least some of their criteria and what data they're looking at and how they're making these decisions. So I mean, I think that good direction. I still think Riven probably should be nerfed, but hey, at least they have a justifiable reason why they're not planning on nerfing her, at least right now.
Yeah. I think the only argument against this is maybe this is their criteria, but they seem pretty heavy-handed with other characters. Like, Ezreal's still very strong, even though that would be a quick, like, making tier a unique passive would be a quick, like,
or remove
easy...
Manamune.
Or remove Man. I think we should remove Manamune. Also remove Ginsu's. That item should not be in the game.
Colt and I had this discussion yesterday. Well, not yesterday. I think 2 days ago. Why the fuck is Manamune in the game, Nick? Or sorry,
for Ezreal.
Better yet, why don't they just nerf Manamune? Ezreal's literally
honestly,
the only character in the game who uses the item.
I think outside of very fringe, like people who haven't stepped out of 2015 Jace, there are no other characters that use it.
Literally none, which gives you a perfect fucking window to nerf the item. Whereas there's constant situations where a character, a archetype will abuse an item, right? And one character will be very problematic because of said item. Say, like, old Essence Reaver, right? You had the Rivens and shit abusing that item. So it would nerf the item and fuck over every other character who uses it. This is a perfect situation where he's the only character in the game who uses the item, but they won't nerf it.
Yeah. I honestly, what do you guys think about quick thoughts, gameplay thoughts? You nerf the like damage to mana ratio. You probably lower the mana like as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you apply it to like single target spells to kind of open up the usability of the item.
Probably.
So, like you could proc it on Pantheon, right? You could proc it on like Lee Sin. I don't know, stuff like that. Like
and it's way too narrow
to attacks. Yeah, absolutely.
Lee Sin, the big mana character.
I mean, whatever. He has a single target spell.
I know.
I'm pretty sure it would still proc. Yeah. I think you can still stack it, right? It says mana, but I'm sure energy cost actually procs it too.
Yeah, so I think that's one way to do it. Where if it procced on, I think in general, if you were going to do that, have it proc on spells and just a reduced ratio for AOE spells. Because I think that Aiden kind of hit the nail on the head. What's wrong with the item is that only one character uses it. And the one character that does use it abuses the hell out of it. So we should make it so that like everyone can use it or nobody can. And if we're going to make it so everyone can use it, I think go ahead, make it so actually everyone can use it, right? Make this the item that, hey, if you are an AD character, probably an AD caster, and you want more mana, that's the item you get, right? Like, that's that item's niche. And I think that's one way to do it. I think the other way to do it would, like, throw away its current formula and give it maybe, like, the Essence Reaver passive, where you get mana back on hit. That being said, that passive has been historically pretty garbage, and people only get the item for the other stats. So I think, yeah, either having it like, I think having it apply, bonus maybe mana damage on spells, or even if it was just like hey, this is your AD item, it gives like attack damage, some cooldown reduction, and mana, right? Like, this is for your AD casters that are gonna go
Yeah, that would be fine
and
too.
get rid of the whole tier nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it was just,
What if we released an individual item for every character in the game that they abuse?
Why limit it to one item? Why not just 6 items for every character? Done. Game's perfectly balanced.
Yeah. Well,
if one specific champion is OP, you just nerf their specific items and it doesn't touch other champions. Wait a minute.
I mean, Hex score is pretty strong.
We've cracked the code. Yeah, but if it's too strong, you just nerf it, and it doesn't affect any other champion.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Oh my god.
I don't think that's how you do it.
Or just remove all items totally.
Yeah, all of them permanently. So I think, like,
hell yeah, Doc.
An interesting way to do it would be maybe making like a variant of like a Caulfield's Warhammer that's like, maybe like a pickaxe and a sapphire crystal, or like maybe a longsword and a sapphire crystal, right? To still give you some route to get mana as an AD caster that's not bad mana immune, and that lets other players use it. So that's my proposed fix. And then just get rid of mana immune entirely.
Yeah. But, yeah. I still think Riven probably needs nerfs, but it's nice to see them, like, at least with some thought process. So, let's go into Metakaiser, where we're going to talk a little bit more about...
one more piece of news that I totally posted the wrong thing.
You sure did.
Zyrene, good caster, friend of those who watch LCS, is leaving Riot to pursue other interests.
Seems like an
If you've
LCS
ever
section
watched
thing,
LCS.
but who am I to say?
Oh, is
If
it?
you've ever
Is
watched
it?
LCS, he's your friend.
My bad.
It's fine. Just
Hey, fun fact, I've played a game with Cyrene before.
Wow, you're so popular, dude.
I know.
Did he recognize
Just
you and
one
say,
game.
I really like you?
No, but I recognized him and said...
I think you have a quality podcast. That
When
is
he
the
made a
official
wrong
legal-
read about a play, I said Kobe would have gotten that right.
Ooh.
And he didn't say anything back, so I think we're not on speaking terms.
Happens to the best of us.
It sure does. But Kobe would have gotten it right. So, but yeah, let's talk about Kale, where after a week of playing Kale, I kind of have some strong opinions about her.
Yes, you do.
I sure do. So this is after I believe they hot fixed her Q and her W, or was it her Q and her E? Or was it? It was some combination of two spells where they just made them feel better, I suppose. I think they allowed for a more smooth auto reset on her E, and then I can't remember. I think it was her W now applies the movement speed instantly rather than like that small little delay. But this character I think is like pretty bad, oddly enough. Even though she has like a pretty balanced win rate and a really high pick rate, I think her early game is just so horrendously bad that it doesn't pay off for her pretty above average late game.
Have you played her mid yet?
I have played her mid, and I feel
like mid
bullied.
and jungle are her best. Yeah, like, so you do definitely get bullied, but I think if you go like Fleet Footwork, Corrupting Potion, and take TP, it's like any other mid laner that gets bullied like crazy in a good late game. It's just like you deal with it for a few minutes and then you're fine.
I think so. Colton brings this up because he had played against one that did really well. I think you get camped by their jungler, and you also pick TF, who is one of the weakest like mid laners. Like I think if you're on Orianna or Fizz, you don't get out of that lane. Like period.
Yeah,
I also think you're biased too, though, Nick.
What? I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I think the majority of games that I've seen Kayle in, she's done absolutely terribly for the first like 11 levels, and then she becomes kind of a real champion, and then the game never goes to level 16.
Yeah.
I feel like after enough time, people will get good enough at making the early game work that like they'll get out of lane at level 11 with like 15-20 CS down, and then still get that nutty late game.
Yeah, and I still.
That being said, she does feel awful early game.
Mm-hmm.
I still think there's there's still things to figure out, like build wise, like skill order wise. Even I think runes are starting to kind of like people are figuring it out. People even suggested taking Klepto because you're E-procs it instantly, and then just trying to survive based on the items that you get, which I thought was pretty interesting.
So, here's one thing. I feel like she's not a character that you want to buff.
No, I think if you are to buff Kayle, you need to nerf her like simultaneously. Mm-hmm. Where I actually think it's really cool that they have this character who fills this niche of like absolute trash early and absolute like really good late game. I'm not going to say it's the best. I'm not going to say it's like average. It's probably high average, like probably like top 10 best late game carries at least. But I also think if you're going to buff her early game to make it a little more bearable, you need to like tone down that late game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what have you guys played any Kayle? Because I've probably played the most.
I've played against it a lot. She's not really banned much on low elo.
I've played like 2 or 3 games of it, like one jungle, like one mid, one top.
Okay. I feel like her best build is or best skill build is probably max Q, and then I don't know if you want to max E or you want to max W.
No, I think you max Q into E. I think
Q into E.
I don't think putting 2 points in W is bad though. Like, sorry,
I don't think
like
so
2
either.
extra to put like make it 3. I feel like that's not a bad idea. I feel
like in lane her W is pretty bad, but in team fight it's actually like pretty nuts.
Her W not reducing a cooldown is the main like problem with not like ever leveling it.
Oh, does it not?
No, it stays 15 seconds, I believe.
Okay.
That's like the main reason why I think W is bad. Like, say if it started at 17 and scaled down to like 10 or something like that, then I feel like you could justify it, but it's just kind of hard to.
Yeah. And then kind of the biggest like disparity I've seen between even just Kayle games is the build. What do you guys think? I think Nash's Tooth is her best like first item.
You can't not go Nash's first item, I think.
Yeah.
I think the other option is a Gunblade. I think you can do that. But I think Nashor's is better.
I think Nashor's into Gunblade is the right build currently.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's weird. I feel like it should be Ginsu's, but I also feel like it's not terribly effective on her.
So
like the waves don't proc from Ginsu's.
Yeah. She's weird, honestly.
She is really weird. But it's almost like I think it's a good thing that Ginsu's isn't like as good on her as it should be, because then I feel like she would just be like, you get Ginsu's in level 11, you just win the game.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's like so many items. She's like, once again, she's like old Kale, right? And the fact that she's like a hybrid attack speed support, kind of, in a way. So like I feel like you can build almost anything on her, but still, like, she needs to be, but the weird thing is she has such a shit early game that she needs to be min-max. You're not going to be in the game for long enough to like try out an item that's not optimal, right? Like part of me wants to go, fuck, dude, Iceborne's going to be insane on her. Iceborne Gauntlet. Not Iceborne Gauntlet. Fuck, Frozen Mallet is what I meant to say. Because I feel like, in theory, based on her, like, how powerful her late game is and how her ult makes her not attack, right? She should be, like, a tank supportive character who still deals a ton of damage, so you want to survive. But I think fucking Frozen Mallet costs way too much money and gives too little stats to, like, justifiably build it at any point in the game. Unless it's like, your last item, right?
Yeah.
It's, like, a weird, like, she can build anything, but she still has to build the most optimal items.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Rallies is good on her. I feel like Wit's End's good on her. I see a lot of people building Runons. I'm not sure how that actually, like, works with her kit, but, like, I see a lot of people building it.
So I'm pretty sure they're just extra attacks and they don't proc the waves.
Okay.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
If she got triple true damage waves, that'd be fucked.
Yeah, I'm glad it doesn't. But I do see a lot of people still build it, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
She's so weird.
So, she is extremely strange. So yeah, I think I would say Fleet Footwork, almost 100%.
Or
you
Klepto.
You could probably take Klepto into like maybe passive melee champions if you're gonna get away with it. Certainly nothing like pretty aggressive, I think. And then I think Nashor's into, what are we gonna say? Are we gonna say Berserker Greaves for boots?
I feel like you have to go, unless you like need Merc Treads. Like, I wouldn't go Tabby or anything, because you're trying to just put out a fucked amount of damage and die. I feel like you either go Alacrity, which is your dream boot, or Mercs, because they have stuff that will stop you from doing DPS.
Yeah, Berserker Greaves or Mercs, yeah. And then I like Gunblade. I think it has a really good build path and pretty much gives Kale everything she wants. So I'm gonna say Gunblade second, or third, I guess, including boots. And then you kind of get into that territory of like you can pretty much build whatever you want. It's preference. If they got a lot of AP, you can build Wit's End, and it's gonna do wonders for you. Like Aiden was saying, I think a decision between Frozen Mallet and Rylai's is probably needed at some point.
I still feel like you need Gensu's, dude, as your like third major item.
Yeah, probably.
Like, it's literally your design is the problem. Like, your design is that you're attacking, putting out these fucked like waves, so you need to attack a bunch, right? So Gensu's is literally what your character's trying to do, but in an item. I feel like you can't not build it.
Yeah, even if it's not like 100% cost efficient, which I thought I read somewhere where it's not super cost efficient on Kale.
Probably not.
She doesn't gain super bonus from the Ginsu's passive.
But so I mean, like, I think the damage on like her E double hits, but the wave doesn't double hit, which is why it's, I think, not as strong as it could be.
Sure, but I think like the biggest thing about Ginsu's is the change recently to the magic pen and armor pen that it gives. Yeah, which just Kale loves.
Yeah, so like boots, Nashor's, a Gunblade, Ginsu's, and then two other items, which could be Wit's End, Frozen Mallet, Rallies.
I think also Hourglass is pretty good. Like, just having that huge bait of, like, you Hourglass and they all dive you and then you ult yourself for a big burst, I think that could be very good.
Sure.
I think that you have a lot of options after the first couple three. Like, after you get your core and boots, I think you have some options.
Nice. Best skin, because she has quite a lot at this point.
Have you seen the new effects for Silver Kale?
I have not seen the new effects.
They're
for
so
Silver Kale.
fucking good, dude.
Are they? I didn't realize she would have different effects.
They're getting all added in next patch, I think.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Wait, what is Silver Kale? How do you get that?
That's the one for pre-ordering the digital game, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
my
what it
favorite
is.
so far has been Judgment, but I think part of it is that exclusivity of being a season 1 player.
Yeah, I'll try to find like the post with all the added effects.
Yeah,
'cause
if you don't mind.
they look really good, dude. I think every single skin has them too.
Nice. That's exciting.
It's kind of
Yeah,
weird
I
that they like didn't
I
ship
haven't
it with
seen
it.
That they didn't like lead with it, you said?
Like they didn't ship with the
Oh, yeah.
Like that just seems
Yeah.
like something like that's weird, right? To me.
She kind of seems like a character where there was a deadline, and even though she wasn't ready for that deadline, the deadline came.
Yeah.
So there's still like a little, maybe she was probably like 1 or 2 weeks away from being like ready, you know?
Oh, here they are. I think this is all of them. Ooh, no, this is just Silver Kale.
So yeah, that's Kill.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when you find the video.
Yeah, sounds good. Even though it's my
Oh,
section.
but I guess it's your section.
Like there's Silver Kale, for example, though. I just linked it in our Discord.
Okay, yeah, we'll look at it while you're
Cool.
doing that.
Round table. So last week's question was from Dustin, and it was Riot forced you to nerf one of your main/favorite champion's abilities. Which ability do you nerf and how? From our Facebook, Shen said Saver W no longer can crit or remove mana for on a successful E. I feel like Saver doesn't need mana on her E, honestly. I feel like that's
But
like
abilities cost so much mana.
yeah, fucking make them cost a real amount of mana.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird like.
Just make it a 0-cost spell shield, and then she has reasonable mana costs.
Yeah, that seems like a better way of doing that. Ash said Tom Kench alt no longer takes a Fred. Not much for change since my teammates never fucking take the voyage. Goddamn. I feel like that'd be a good change overall. I feel like it'd push him more to a top laner like than a support though, which I'm all for. I feel like he's like not balanced for support. Bodhi said Talon no longer crits on his short range dash would change a lot considering how many combos rely on that, but yeah, I don't use it that much anyways. Yeah, it's a weird, like, it seems like one of those things that was added in just because, not for like any good reason. Chad said Yasuo remove the passive shield that everyone hates and complains about nonstop, then maybe people stop crying and getting wrecked. Probably not though. Yeah, his passive shield is too strong. I feel like they could honestly probably just remove it and be fine.
Isn't it like 100 at level 1?
Yeah, it's 100 at 1. It scales to
Which is
220, I think.
insane. Yeah, I don't know. That character shouldn't gain double crit, but we've already talked about that.
Yeah, but I feel like if they removed that, they'd have to buff him so much. Honestly. How his fucking passive shield scales to 510, by the way.
I was
It's a
gonna say
1
when you said
second
200,
shield.
I was like, that's way too low.
I mean, yeah, but when you have no resistances, that 500 health is like 2 auto attacks.
Yeah, 200's a level of 11. That's what I was... Cool. So it scales a lot at the end. What the fuck? The first 10 levels, it scales up 100, and then the last
That's
8
insane.
levels, it scales up 310. What is that curve? Yeah, it's 5, 5, 5,
That's
5,
the
5,
Ancient
5,
Yasuo curve.
10, 10, 15, 25, 25, 25, 25, 35, 40, 40, 60, 70.
That's the Inting Yasuo curve, Aiden. That's my Yasuo went 1 in 9 in lane, split pushed for 20 minutes, and then popped off.
Got 2 items.
Nick, remember a couple
Two
like weeks ago we were
items.
talking about like curves that don't make any sense in the game?
Yeah.
We found a new one. Oh fuck. Eric said Ash Hawkshot no longer gives assists. Don't touch her in any other way. I feel like she shouldn't get assists. Not like for her like as a nerf, but like it doesn't make sense when every other thing in the game doesn't give
Yeah.
assists for stuff like that.
Does TFLT give assist?
It might actually. I'm pretty sure it does.
I think it does, and that I'm a little bit more okay with because like it can pop a Banshee's fail.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a hard kind of decision to make of like, should Vision give an assist if there's no damage behind it? I don't know. That's hard to say.
I feel like if you're actively like doing something to give the assist or to give the vision, it should grant an assist.
What if it gave an assist based on like your proximity?
Sure, that'd be fine
I
within
think
the normal
either-
assist, like within the normal assist range.
Yeah. That would make more sense, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Than like.
So I guess my question then would be like, let's say just hypothetically, like I'm sitting in Tribush in bot lane as Ashe, right? And my support's going to like finish someone off, and like they already have vision of that person. I just hit them with the hawk shot for the free assist. Should that still apply?
Sure.
Like if they
You're
already
pressing a
had
button.
vision? Okay.
Yeah, you're pressing a button.
So,
Yeah, it's
Colton,
But
Make
if it were like
I
a
got-
ward, I wouldn't count that as an assist.
I got you a new cheese pick, Colton.
Yeah. What is it?
Pike top, Ashe 80 carry.
Okay. I
When
like
Pike's
it, I
about to get a
like it.
kill with his ult, you
Yeah,
Ashe
sure.
cut all the way up
Oh.
top. He ults them, 300 gold for Ashe.
Why don't you just
Perfect.
hit him mid so the travel time
You
is not
could
that?
just do that mid, actually, yeah, and it'd be a lot
But,
easier.
like,
And then you'd have Pike
How
mid.
sick is that, though? Ashe
No,
gets
that's
300
really
gold
funny.
for. That's actually sick,
super
right?
sick.
That's
See,
really funny.
I thought you meant you pick Ashe whenever there's a pike, and then you just get vision to steal the gold, like right at the end,
No.
like from the jungler that's ganking the top lane.
Oh, I like that idea too. Yeah, dude, how mad would you be if like Pike mid or jungle ganks your lane and Ashe steals your 300 gold with a hawk shot?
I'd be pretty upset.
My
it, yeah.
cut.
That would
No,
actually be
it's
such a
mine.
sick like 300 gold though. I'd actually be so
Yeah,
impressed if someone does that.
Absolutely.
From our Discord, Mega JTN said, I'd have to nerf Sejuani. Probably either only allow Sej to apply her E stacks by herself. Don't allow her ultimate to scale with distance or double length of time between E freezes. I feel like her being able to only proc her E stacks herself wouldn't be a bad way of nerfing her if they like compensated with stuff though.
See, I think if they did that, it should only be to neutral objectives. Like, you should be able to do it onto other champions still, but I've been playing a lot of Sejuani recently, and the speed at which you can take it with a melee character like Tryndamere or Yasuo, like, you just don't do anything except hit your E and auto attack. It's nuts.
Yeah. Pride 909 said Echo R, remove the healing on it, or just remove the healing on it so it just leaves the escape and damage, so people can actually learn how to use the damage more on it than an oops button. Yeah, I fucking hate how Echo alt is an oops button though. Like for 99% of the time, it is it's usually the main problem is his alt is a gimmick. In my opinion, the main problem with Echo is his alt does a lot of damage, but it's a gimmick. So it's not reliable damage. So therefore, his kit has to do a fucked amount of damage.
Yeah.
It's like characters that have like one or two abilities. So like those two abilities do 1 billion damage. Echo has like the amount of damage on his Q and E as if he only had Q and E, because his W is no damage and his alt can't be reliable damage.
Yeah.
So therefore, his alt
I'd be
becomes an
fine
oops
if they
button.
just took the. I'd be fine if they just took the healing or took the damage off of it, like one or the other, and just either make it, yes, this is your oops button, that's all it is, or hey, it's not an oops button anymore, strategically positioned to get damage out of it.
It's just weird. I just don't like how he's balanced around it not doing damage.
Yeah.
But then if he hits you with it, it does 3/4 of your health.
Granted, you should never ever be hit by an Echo like ulti.
Nick,
Ever.
hear me out. What if you got it was like 10 seconds of rewind, okay?
Okay.
But you could hold it and it like VCR like playback through your 10 seconds and you can choose where to use it.
Okay. I kind of like that.
Like it's like a channel or something, not a channel, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like it'd be like something you
Oh,
hold.
yeah. To see how far back, you could go back.
Yeah.
As far as you want.
Like you'd hold
That'd
it for
be
2
pretty
seconds
sick.
to do like the full 10 or something like that.
That'd be pretty sick.
That'd be really cool, right?
What if you like casted it, kind of like the item they had, where like you cast it and it's like you have like 5 seconds to do what you're gonna do before you pop back.
Ooh.
You gotta hit your timer first.
Yeah. I just feel like they need something to like make it so it's either more reliable, like make it a more reliable ability. You know what I mean? That's why I like the idea of like holding down your R to like choose kind of where you go, because like then they have to play around all that and you can actually like use it properly. I don't know, because like if you get hit by Echo Alt, sorry, God.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say Echo Alt just currently feels like they messed up. If you hit Echo Alt, it's because they fucked up, not because you're good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, you want to answer this one, Aiden?
Tom Kench one is probably like similar to what I would say, honestly. Like,
yeah, just make him like a top laner.
Yeah, just because like he doesn't really need the duo thing, but yeah, that'd be good. Okay. Cool. So this week's roundtable question is what is an unwritten rule of League of Legends?
Ooh, this is a tough one. Aside from like the obvious ones from way back in the day, like don't chase singed, I don't know, stuff like that.
This is where we're gonna get the good answers from our listeners.
What is an unwritten rule of League of Legends? Always invade. Always.
Maybe only in our games when Colton's not the jungler.
Yeah, if you're the jungler, you actually never invade.
That's not true. I always want to invade.
It's kind of true, dude.
You never invade when invading would require you to take a suboptimal ability.
That's not even true. I've taken
like
W and I've like flash W'd on Pantheon. I've done it. Fuck you.
This is tough. I can't seem to think of any. Maybe always complain. How about that?
I was gonna say to never fucking BM at the end of the game. Honestly, though.
Never say GG easy in my game.
Honestly, though, I was thinking about that a couple like days ago. There's actually nothing that you get out of saying GG easy.
Yeah. You're just a dick.
You don't even get a reaction like 99% of the time because the game's over.
There's not enough time, yeah.
You know what I mean?
How about always make sure you look up your opponent before you shit talk them or your teammate? Because if they hit you with the like good luck in silver, I'll be enjoying my Victoria skin. I personally don't know if you can come back from that one. Dude,
fucking, I've never like been shit talked like really hard like for no reason before, like just based on like ranked or whatever. But I was playing my Smurf and I picked Pike mid, which I guess isn't like a big thing in bronze, right?
Sure.
So my jungler went GG, Pike mid, GG, game's over. So he picked Teemo jungle as a response, right? And then we got into the game and he saw his bronze too, and I've never seen someone lose it, dude. Like off of that, he actually was like so fucking mad. Because I was like bronze.
Because you were really? What rank was he?
Gold 4.
Oh,
I have high MMR, but like I tried to. I'm never mean on my Smurf, right? I just go. I was like, but you're in the same game as me. Like we have the same MMR. Like his response was bronze. You know what I mean? It's like, but are people actually that delusional though? It's like you realize that I have the same MMR because I'm in your game.
Yeah, so either you're doing really well, which is really likely, or he's doing really poorly.
Guys, my MMR is Master 900 LP.
I don't know if that's right, Colton. You know what? There's a chance that it is. You know what? Just because
I keep getting them in my games.
Is your win rate 48%?
Unfortunately not. I think it's actually above 50 this days.
Oh.
That's new. That's fun.
Nice.
Cool. If you want to tell us what your unwritten rule of League of Legends is, I was posting on Facebook, by the way.
I see.
You can hit us up on our Facebook page at LeagueCast, send us an email, leaguecastpodcast.com, or come to our Discord and post in the roundtable section.
Hell yeah. Cheese pick.
A is me, the resident cheese pick guy.
Oh, we're just going to pick different Klepto characters top lane for the next 6 weeks?
Yeah, we are.
You going to do Klepto Kenna next week?
No, Klepto Cannon is dumb. Fuck Klepto Cannon. This is Klepto Skarner.
Whoa.
So this would only work into a melee character. But here's the thing, right? Your ultimate's already gonna let you like steal their AD carry, but you gotta steal more. You gotta steal everything from their top laner. So that's why you take Klepto. You have tools to get in with like your EW. You spam the hell out of your Q so you can proc it a bunch of times. Like you can get so many autos off in a full combo. I feel like you get a lot of money off of that. Plus, with the expanded size of the altars, like you're not ever gonna get them for a fight. But like if a fight ever breaks out in like the river or a jungle quadrant, you can fuck somebody up. Plus, you can just build like full tank.
What if Klepto didn't give you sacks of gold, but you just stole 5 gold every time you like hit him from your enemy?
People would hate that so
You'd
much.
have to steal more, like 10 or 15.
People would hate it so much.
It'd kind of be fun though.
Yeah, if it was, like I think even if it was like take 5 from them, but you get 5 yourself, with like a chance of like potions or something, I think that would work.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, well, you were saying like more. I don't think it would need to be more than 5 if you stole from them and still got items.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Mail fight. First email's from Brian. He says, "Hey, just enjoying your podcast like I do every Friday morning. When I got surprised, Stormrazor's still in the game. Do you mind going over the item and its use cases?"
There aren't any.
I do mind because it's bad. Don't buy it.
So Stormrazor, it gives you some stats. I don't. Wow, let me pull it up. Hang on.
It is 91% gold efficient without its passive.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I just still feel like it doesn't make it good.
No, because its passive is dog shit.
Yeah, so it's 3,100 gold. Built out of BF Longsword, Kirchi's Shard. Gives you 60 attack damage and 30% attack speed. Its passive is when you use an energized attack, your next basic attack deals extra damage on hit, and that energized effects of all of like the energized items like Rapid Fire or Static Shiv have their effects increased by 30% and also slow for 40% over 1 second. So it's like it's not bad if you build both like static and rapid fire, but those 2 items are like not super good right now.
So here's the reason. It still interacts with fleet footwork. So meaning you stack fleet footwork quicker is like the main thing. You stack it. How much faster is it? 30% or something like that. 30%. So like if you're a fleet footwork character, you can consider building it. I think the only character that builds it pretty consistently right now is Kai'Sa. Mainly because it gives you AD and a lot of attack speed, which starts proccing both your Q and your E upgrades. Because the reality is by the end of the game, you definitely need your Q and your E no matter what. Your W is kind of negligible, I think, for the most part. Like the upgraded form. But you need stealth and you need your Q to do damage late game. So the main reason is like you're working towards both of those, I think, is the idea. Like they still did like pro play for Kai'Sa. They do it first item.
Yeah, I saw that someone went first item Stormrazor in a competitive game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like it's still her best item. You go Stormrazor into IE, I believe.
Okay. Nice.
But I don't know if you do that on any other character though.
Probably not. I feel like IE and then a Zeal item's just better on almost every other character.
Because I think with Stormrazor, IE, boots, and then Shiv, like a Zeal item, I think that procs both your Q and your E on Kai'Sa.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's what you need.
Because it'd be 60.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I believe it should.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You'll get attack speed from levels and your boots.
Yeah.
Which will get you there, like, for sure.
Cool. So, yeah, that's, like, the only character I think that you can build it on. Like, that's really good, but I don't know, man. It's just such a, like, a not good item, though.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
Next email is from James. And it says, I was wondering how to get more matchup knowledge, not just by playing more, because I don't have a lot of time to play League, but I still want to have lots of matchup knowledge when I go into a game. Regards, James.
So that's probably champion dependent, and your best bet is most likely going to be like people who dedicate a lot of time to that specific champion, because there's just way too many like factors going into matchups where there are like 150 champions, and each one of those champions could theoretically see the other champion.
Yeah, I think like low level quick way to do it is like you can check stuff like op.gg or like Mobilytics, or I mean there's a lot of sites out there that do that give like general matchups based on win percentages of like, you know, hey, LeBlanc into Zed versus LeBlanc into Zilean, like here's how the win rate looks like. But your best bet for actual matchup information is definitely like find somebody who plays a lot of that character, and see if you can find something of them like playing against it, right? Watching a one trick of a character play against that's where you're going to really learn that matchup.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps, James.
I wonder if there's
next email.
I was going to say, I wonder if there's a site that like you can look up matchups and then people could write comments about it. I feel like there should be, but I can't think of one.
There absolutely was, right? Wasn't it? Oh God, it was the one that had like you could upvote specific matchups, and then
I know what you mean.
Yeah, there were comments at the bottom.
I remember there was comments because like I feel like that would be such a useful tool for players. Like say you're playing Zed versus something, and it's like, or you're like playing versus Zed, and it's like your character has this cooldown, so your cooldown's lower, so when he goes for this ability, make sure you follow up with this or something like that. You know what I mean? Like when he dashes in, make sure you use chain then this, because your chain has a lower cooldown, which means it'll be up before he can do that again or something. You like little shit like that. I feel like it would be so useful for players.
Yeah,
like just how trades work.
I feel like there definitely used to be one.
But I feel like it wasn't like that though, like for information.
No, it wasn't. It was just people talking about like why someone else's opinion was wrong.
Yeah, I just feel like that'd be super useful. Like you're playing jungle matchups. Careful, Mastery has a strong early game, so he might invade you on your second buff. So be sure to ward before you do it or whatever, right? Like shit like that.
Yeah, or even like, hey, Zed wins this matchup until you hit level 6 and get a stopwatch for like Lysandra or something like that.
I just feel like that'd be super useful.
That would be awesome. Maybe you should take that idea and we shouldn't publish this.
Yeah, taking the show down.
The real next email's from Logan, who said, let's be honest, Leona's W damage is way too high early, and he's accidentally stolen too many kills and tilted his own 80 carry way too often. I believe this is in response to the roundtable question. So I imagine Logan would nerf Leona's W damage, which is probably fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty strong for a tank. It's a pretty fucked ability in general.
Mm-hmm.
What if they remove her?
Nice.
Thanks.
I feel like there's a lot of other ways to do it that I think would be really cool. What if, like, hear me out. Yeah, don't remove Leona entirely.
Just put her in a different game.
Yeah, okay, all right.
League of Legends 2. She's the only character that is a crossover.
So, probably lower the stats on it and, like, don't give it base damage anymore, but make it last a little bit longer, and then just, like, every second or, like, half second, in just, like, a ray around her, she procs her passive. Like, there's just, like, sunlight emanating from her, and it can continue to proc, right? So if you're with, like, a high attack speed 80 carry, the damage is going to come from them proccing the passive multiple times, but your Leona's not going to, run up and 100 to 0 somebody on her own.
But I went 100 to 0 people on my own.
I thought of the best question in my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you write it down?
I'm writing it down. Nick, tell me how fucking good this is.
Why don't you read the next one while I'm waiting for him to type it?
Look at that. Look at that.
Next,
that's actually a really good question.
I'm
reading it. We're talking about it next week, by the way. It's if Riot were to create League of Legends 2, which champions would they not include? Why? That's actually a really cool question, though.
That's a good one, yeah.
Because there's definitely characters, Nick, where they've gone, fuck, what have we done?
Vladimir, absolutely. For the longest time, they said if they could go back and not release Vladimir, they would, because he was previously a nightmare to balance.
You mean diving your opponent at level 4 was okay?
Well, it's just like, what if we made a character who does more damage for buying tank stats, does more, like, is tankier for buying damage, and also regen, like, is able to just lifesteal, like, so much. Yikes.
Cool.
That's a good question. I'm excited for that, actually.
I wish a Rioter would respond to that. That'd be so fucking good.
Yeah, hey, if you work for Riot, we'll make sure that we read your answer next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we normally cut like 90% of our answers.
Yeah. We go, Riot response? Fuck that.
We'll put you right at the top.
Yeah.
Last
billing.
email, I think, is from
Yeah.
Lars, and he says, "Hello guys, I was thinking how Overwatch did some crossover skins with Diablo, and how that would be fun for League to do. It seemed like a fun theme for a roundtable question, so the question is, what characters would you couple for a crossover skin? Could be from any game X League. I would do something like LeBlanc as Tracer. It works well with the dashes on LeBlanc, her W, and maybe Tracer ult as Q, but the autos is going to be a bit of a challenge to animate, or maybe something more like Scion as Ogrim Doomhammer. Keep up the great show, Lars from the Netherlands."
All right, easy. I've got the perfect one. You guys can just, like, pack it in after this. Pack it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, no.
On to Echo, right? Because it kind of feels that goofy, like, the goofy character where it's supposed to be, like, some serious. Keyblade would work easy for whatever the weapon Echo's using, right? And then the process at which Echo uses his ultimate, like, I'm sure the mechanics behind his actual, like, rewind time thing are, like, pretty complex, right? You know what else is complex? The entire plot of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So it kind of just, like, fits really well together, you know?
That's fair.
What about you guys?
So cringe.
This is,
Shut your mouth.
My answer is going to be the best.
I
Is it?
didn't say it because mine is not coming. I can't think of anything right now.
So obviously I'm thinking Hawkeye, and when you say Hawkeye, you're like, how would the guy from the Avengers fit in? No, I mean Hawkeye, the Chief Knight of Lightning from Maple Story. He's a Thunderbreaker, Nick, and he's a pirate, so he'd be
Wow.
GP. But all GP's
You-
moves are now lightning based
So
That would be
when you
so
said,
cool, Aiden.
and shark
So when you
based.
said cringe earlier,
No. So
were
imagine,
you referring to my idea or your
imagine
Maple Story
if you
one?
cue someone, but it's lightning, okay?
But you just shoot a shark. a
No,
lightning
and then when you throw it, you explode your barrel. It's like fizzle, but like where the barrel is, a shark comes up, a lightning shark, and it zaps them.
Well, does a lightning bolt come down like at the same time that the shark comes up?
Yeah,
Okay, I'd buy that skin.
of
That's
course you
pretty
would.
All right, Colin, we've stalled long enough.
Yeah, I know. I'm like racking my brain through various video games that I'd like think would be a good pairing. I'm really
Cool,
just completely blanking.
So why don't you come up with a single game, and Aiden and I will come up with a champion, okay? Like a single video game character.
Yeah,
So here's what I'll do. I'm gonna make a Spyro Rammus skin because I remember back in the
that
day
was the
playing
plan.
Spyro. Huh? What'd you
Why
say?
didn't you just make a Spyro Shyvana?
No, because like Spyro will like roll.
now he's gonna try to defend it, even though he knows he's wrong.
No, okay. So I thought of Shyvana. I don't like it on Shyvana that much.
Did you? Because
Yes.
I think you would have said Shyvana and not Ram.
No, because that would be it would just be a dragon still. It wouldn't be cool. So Spyro, I don't think you guys ever played Spyro. Like there was a lot of like platforming and like obstacle levels where you were like rolling really really fast and like doing platforming stuff. And I think that'd be fun to do that as Rammus. That's why I said that. Flame me all you want.
That being said, you remember what my answer was last time we got asked this question?
No.
It was Tom Kench's Iron Man. And you asked, you were trying to decipher it, but it was he gets in the suit whenever he uses his E for like the 3 seconds while the. And that's all he's ever in the skin for. It's just basic Tom Kench until he uses his E, and then his suit fucking like attaches onto him.
This is really like sick animation, and it just falls off. He's in the suit as long as Robert Downey Jr. is. In,
Honestly,
in
though.
Fun.
Cool.
All right. If you want to send us an email, you can send us email mail@leakcastpodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter @leakcast and @leakcastfrost. Like us on Facebook, Leakcast. Talk to us on TeamSpeak or on Discord. Our TeamSpeak server address is ts.leakcastpodcast.com. You can get a Discord invite, like the many people who have emailed us this week, by sending us an email to mail@leakcastpodcast.com, like I said earlier. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/bluebasket and /kinglardout. And finally, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/leakcast. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you for episode 370. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.